Jared Polin, FroKnowsPhoto.com, here with another book from my bookshelf. And this time we have You Are Here, or I like to say You're Here, Chris Hadfield, the astronaut, around the world in 92 minutes. Now, Chris Hadfield, everybody started to know him because he started tweeting images from the International Space Station. He spent a lot of time up there taking photographs and obviously doing experiments. And I've listened to some interesting podcasts with him where he talked about being a Canadian kid wanting to go into space, but the Canadians didn't have a space agency at the time. So he ended up working his way in once one did come about so that he could end up being on the International Space Station and working hard to be an astronaut. But he also has a love for photography, and that's what's captured in this small book. It's petite. It's pretty small in stature. It's under 20 bucks, so it's not that expensive, and the images are interesting. Now, you got to remember that these images are owned by NASA, but any of us can go look for them on the website and print them if we really wanted to. But it's really, I mean, when you look at images like this shooting straight down at the world, it's kind of like we talked about that voyeuristic book Through the Window or Out My Window in New York, one of those photographers that did that. This is different. You're looking through the window of the International Space Station and photographing Earth. It looks different from that high up. I mean, obviously, but look at the clouds and look at the colors that are captured here. It is really, it's just amazing to think that all this was captured from outer space. And it's just all the different things that are captured here. But the one thing that I'll say about this book that I don't like is I wish it was bigger. I would have gladly spent a lot more money to get a much larger and more substantial book with larger prints, better color, better printing. That way I could look at it larger. Now I get it, there's the $20 option. I wish there was a $120 option that would let me see the pictures much larger, because that I would support. I totally would. But it's nice to go, I want to support NASA any way I can and Chris for taking these photos, because it's really amazing what he captured and the stories that go along with it, to start telling the little nuances about why the Finger Lakes are like this, or how the continent got its name and that it should have been named this, not named this. It's really neat to see what you see from outer space. It's kind of similar when you see photos of Mars and you see like, oh, that looks like a face on Mars. But if we got really close to it, it wouldn't be a face on Mars. Well, we don't really know that because we've never been to Mars. But I would like to spend 2 weeks there. You know, that's really, there's not much else to say about it. I don't think it's the greatest book in the world. I really, like I said, I think part of it is the printing, the fact that it's a pretty inexpensive book. I love the idea behind it. I love that it's all shot from the International Space Station and there's little stories in here about the continents and about each of the images. But I want them to be bigger. I want them to be more substantial, and I would pay for that. And, you know, for 20 bucks, if you want to, you know, thank the photographer for what he did and the work that he did for the government or for NASA and for the International Space Station, that's great. That's why I purchased it, because I've got a lot of enjoyment out of the photos that he's posted on Twitter and the stories that he's told, and he's made space fun, and I will do whatever it takes to back space exploration, because I'm a big proponent of it. So that's what I have to say about that. This book is You Are Here, Around the World in 92 Minutes, Chris Hadfield, another book from my bookshelf, Jared Polin, FroKnowsPhoto.com. See ya. So I hope you liked that from my bookshelf video, but if you want to check out other ones, you can click right here. It's going to take you to a playlist of From My Bookshelf, and also go ahead and subscribe if you haven't done so. The box is right here. Click the subscribe button so you can be notified when new videos go live.